Yuzito and the others are heading towards the battlefield as Aruru comments that it is taking far too long. Hearing this, Tong affirms that they'll be fighting demons and they can't possibly do that near the castle, and Aruru also agrees with this. Yuzito then questions Rose regarding the physical appearance of demons as she informs him that demons are basically demi-humans with unusual horns. She further tells him that they look like humans at first glance, but are far superior in terms of physical prowess and magic. She then asks if he's scared of them, but Yuzito replies negatively, asserting that he knows someone far scarier. At that point, Rose still cannot believe how far Yuzito has come, considering that he was just a random guy who got caught in the hero summoning ritual. 5 years ago, when Rose had just become a battalion commander, she and Siglis were summoned by King Linger, who informed them regarding the presence of demons in the darkness of Linger. He further explains that even though they haven't ambushed anyone, it's a matter of time only. He then instructs those below the rank of general to serve as guards. With this, Rose and Siglis leave as Siglis questions her regarding the motive of demons. According to Rose, the demons might be planning an invasion, and considering this possibility, Siglis decides to mobilize his troops. Even though Rose comments that he takes things way too seriously, she herself is planning to do something similar. In the meantime, a chibi girl appears at the spot and addresses Rose as captain. She keeps bothering her until Rose gets angry and smacks her, nearly splitting her head. The girl then questions her regarding what King Linger told them and gets smacked again for eavesdropping. On their way to their base, Rose addresses her as Owl and reminds her that demons are insanely strong and she's underestimating them. Owl asserts that she was just joking, but still gets punished as Rose announces that she will overlook their evening training. Hearing this, Owl attempts to talk her way out, stating that Rose is a battalion commander and must be way too busy for all this. Upon reaching the headquarters, the soldiers address Owl as vice captain, commenting that she's looking pale. At that moment, Rose reveals that they were discussing their training session, which shocks them. All of them immediately thought that Owl must have said something and gang up on her. She attempts to clear the misunderstanding, asserting that she noticed them slacking off way too much and asked the captain to discipline them. This pisses them off even more as they beat her up. Owl literally begs Rose to save her, but she bluntly avoids her. That evening, Rose visits King Linger once again, who informs her that the demons have been slaughtering monsters in their forest for some reason. He then instructs her to figure out their motive and use force if needed. Following this, Rose informs her entire squad regarding this mission and instructs them to get ready as they'll leave tomorrow. All of them are slightly concerned since they have to battle literal demons. Seizing the opportunity, Owl attempts to motivate them, but gets told off by them as she was the reason behind their intense training the entire week. Once again, all of them gang up against her and beat her up. In the meantime, Rose informs Kukuru that he'll have to stay behind. She tells him that even though his presence would hugely benefit them, the demons might target him and she doesn't want to put him into imminent danger. Following this, Rose announces that she'll be joining them on this mission since it is quite important. This boosts their confidence by 1,000 folds as Rose's presence makes them literally invincible. The following morning, they leave for the darkness of Linger and wander around the entire day. At night, Owl informs them that they will search the west side of the forest tomorrow, and for that purpose, they'll have to leave their horses behind. One of them questions that they shouldn't prioritize the areas they can search on horses, but Owl deems that a waste of time. Hearing all this, they agree to what Owl said since she's the vice captain. Rose then tells them to sleep as she will keep guard. After some time, Rose notices that Owl is still awake and confronts her. Owl reveals that she couldn't sleep and sits beside Rose. She then questions the reason Rose made her vice captain even though others are far superior in terms of skills and leadership qualities. This makes Rose question if she doesn't believe in her own abilities, as Owl asserts that all she does is write reports and file applications. Rose tells her that these are also important responsibilities, and the fact that there haven't been any complaints means that she's doing a fascinating job. Owl, however, is still not satisfied with this answer as Rose further reveals that she might even make her the captain one day. Being a battalion commander, she cannot remain the captain of this squad for too long and Owl has to take over eventually. This shocks Owl as she affirms that she doesn't want her to leave ever. According to her, Rose is the only person who has ever managed to discipline her. Back when Owl joined the Knights, she never followed anyone's order until Rose appeared in her life. Everything she tried was useless against Rose, who would force her way through everything. Seeing all this, Owl decided that she will never obey a person like Rose and that she will endure her hellish training to prove that she is superior. During that time, Owl became insanely motivated as she realized that Rose was the first person who accepted her and didn't cast her away. She further tells her that even though she thought Rose was annoying, everything she did made her happy. She believes that the others also think like this and no one understands Rose like they do. Hearing all this emotional stuff, Rose smacks Al, which makes her wonder what she did wrong. Rose then confirms if Al and her squad really knows her the best, to which she replies positively. She then explains that she didn't make her vice captain on a whim and further affirms that her ability to withstand tough circumstances makes her the ideal candidate. This conversation really boosts Al's confidence and teaches her to appreciate her abilities. With this, Rose instructs her and the others to get back to sleep, contemplating Al to wonder who else she is talking about. At that point, she realizes that their comrades were eavesdropping on their conversation and gets embarrassed. The following morning, they reach the west side of the forest where they come across blood-tinged footprints, which makes it quite clear that the demons are nearby. After some time, they finally come across demons gathering monsters for unknown reasons. At that point, the demons also realize that they have been caught. In the beginning, Rose confronts them alone, mocking them for gathering monsters like they are putting together a circus. The demon, on the other hand, asserts that he also doesn't like this mission, but it will benefit them in the long run, and now that they have crossed paths, he cannot let them leave alive. Rose leaves the command in the hands of Al and ambushes the demon leader. The demon underestimates Rose in the beginning and attacks her with some wind slasher, but much to his surprise, Rose dodges them rather easily and counterattacks. The demon gets quite shocked by Rose's movements, commenting that a normal human cannot possibly move like that. The battle continues with the demon attacking Rose, and her countering his attacks. She even hurls some tree trunks at him, thinking that they might do some damage, but the demon utilizes his magic to guard himself. Just when the demon believes that he has trapped Rose inside his measly attack, she walks her way through it. This makes him realize that she actually possesses healing magic. Respecting her abilities, the demon introduces himself as Nero Argents and Rose also introduces herself. With this, the demon brings out his demon sword to get rid of Rose once and for all, since he considers her an imminent danger to his empire. We finally have Rose's backstory. Even though things are proceeding quite smoothly, I can sense that things are going to get dirty in the next episode. Make sure to like and subscribe, so you don't miss out on anything.